everyone, and welcome to the newest edition of The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on all things IPW. I am the voice of IPW, J-Rod. Fans love Warfare as the event features special elimination tag team matches. This year's Warfare was set to include 2. However, Max Morrison interrupted the opening announcements with new music to announce that Jeremiah Nazareth did not show up to the event. Morrison has come to the conclusion that Nazareth is not a leader. He is simply a cult leader and a fraud. Morrison gave a huge F-U to Jeremiah Nazareth and finally ditched the Forgotten for good. Thomas Bailey and Hexus came down to the ring to confront Morrison, who pleaded with them to leave the Forgotten as well. Bailey and Hexus attacked Morrison. Shockingly enough, Jimmy Sholwin and Mondo Real came to Max Morrison's aid, and Jimmy Sholwin agreed to be Morrison's tag team partner for the evening. In a dominant victory for Morrison and Sholwin, Max Morrison was able to put the stamp on his resignation from the Forgotten. After the match, Morrison and Sholwin hugged it out and rekindled their friendship. We attempted to reach out to Jeremiah Nazareth for comment. Nazareth refused. Roddy Suavino made his IPW debut against Mondo Real in our Patreon exclusive match. Subscribe to the IPW regular tier or above to watch it now. International talent El Noctambulo, still looking for his first IPW victory, took on the undefeated Chris Moore. Noctambulo gets an A for effort, but ultimately took a beating. Chris Moore is on his way to a title shot, without question. Moore just needs a win over a top contender to really get the attention he's looking for. Michiana champion TDG came down to the ring to talk about the Warfare Elimination Tag Team match he would be featured in later in the evening. But TDG prides himself as a fighting champion and offered to defend his title beforehand. A questionable decision, but never question the heart of our Michiana champion. The challenger would be Juntai, an elite-level opponent. This match was awesome, and TDG picked up arguably the biggest win of his IPW career. An awesome feather in his cap, but with this act of bravery cost TDG later in the evening. Always recruiting fresh up-and-coming talent, Jay the Killing Fields made his IPW debut against fan favorite Schwartzy. Fields and Schwartzy had a great technical mat wrestling match, with Fields eventually being tied up in the figure 4 and forced to submit. Immediately following the match, Chris Moore blindsided Schwartzy. We knew Chris Moore was looking to break into the upper echelon of IPW, and it seems Moore has found a target. Chris Moore and Schwartzy will go one-on-one at high stakes this Sunday. Will Chris Moore move into the title picture, or will Schwartzy be the first man to put a blemish on Moore's record? The Warfare Elimination Tag Team match had the whole building buzzing. Jeremiah Goldman led his clients Anderson Knight and Michiana Championship #1 contender Big Jorge, as well as Josh Raymond, into battle against old-timer Jeff King, late replacement hardcore specialist Casey Tempest, Michiana champion TDG, and referee Gary, who left his referee gear in the back and brought out Gary the Freak from retirement. Casey Tempest could not resist the urge to get hardcore and got himself disqualified after wrapping himself in barbed wire and becoming a battering ram. Josh Raymond and Jeff King's red-hot feud boiled over, and the two would get themselves counted out as they fought to the back. Anderson Knight fell victim to a double-team maneuver from TDG and Gary to get himself eliminated. An exhausted TDG was understandably worn out after his title defense earlier in the evening and made one mistake, putting himself into position to be pinned by Big Jorge. This certainly gives Jorge a huge boost of confidence going into their title match at high stakes. On Cloud 9, Jorge lost focus and was blindsided by a huge flying crossbody from Gary the Freak, which led to his elimination. Gary the Freak would finally get the chance to get his hands on Jeremiah Goldman, as Goldman and Gary were the final 2, or so we thought. Big Jorge distracted the referee, giving Anderson Knight the chance to wipe Gary out, giving Jeremiah Goldman the heartbreaking win. In our main event of the evening, Terry Van Avery would challenge IPW champion, the infamous Jamal King, in a rematch from War on the Shore 3. A back-and-forth nail-biter ended in dramatic fashion as Terry Van Avery ended the 200-plus day reign of the most dominant champion in IPW history. Jam caught up with Jamal King after the event to get his thoughts on the unexpected first loss in over 200 days.
Jamal, can I get a quick word with you for a second? Jamal, for 202 days, you dominated IPW, but in 3 seconds, your reign came to an end. So I just have to ask, now that Terry's the champion, what's your mindset? Do you have plans to get back? What's going through your head right now?
Can you get a word? Can you get a word?
I'm just doing my...
Push come to shove, yeah, Terry, he pulled a fast one on me today. But you better believe, come hell or high water, I will get my title back. I will be Terry's doom. And I will rule over IPW again.
That concludes this edition of The Insider. Join us on Sunday, November 26th at Patterson Ice Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan as IPW presents High Stakes.